here on top of the Allen Road, one of the remnants of the Metropolitan Toronto freeway plan, and probably the poster child for urban reform in North America. In the 1940s, the city of Toronto faced a big problem: where to house the massive number of new residents flooding into the city at enormous rates. The solution they came up with? Suburbia. Outside of the city of Toronto lay massive rolling farmlands just laying there bare for the picking by developers. And did they rise to the occasion? The second problem, after building all these new subdivisions and developments outside of the city, was how to channel new residents into the center where their jobs would be. In the 1940s, of course, the answer to that was building superhighways. So, the city of Toronto came up with a plan to crisscross the dense, populous area of central Toronto with 5 or more new glorious expressways intended to bring in the wealthy financiers from the suburbs into their office desk jobs in the heart of Toronto. Not much came of this until 1953, when the Metropolitan Toronto Council was established. The first chair, Frederick G. Gardner, sorry, it's actually quite loud here. The first chair, Frederick G. Gardner, sprung up and began building massive new expressways. The first would be the Lakeshore Expressway, known today as the Gardner, named after the first chair of the Metro Council. It would run from the Humber River through the center of the city on an elevated byway, and then terminate all the way in Scarborough. However, today the Scarborough portion no longer exists. The next freeway built was the Don Valley Parkway, stretching from the Lakeshore, where it met the Gardner, all the way north to the Toronto Bypass, now known as the 401. Opposition to these freeways was minimal, as they mostly passed through industrial parkland areas. However, the next 3 freeways under the Metropolitan Transportation Board's plan for Toronto were extremely controversial. The Spadina Expressway, the Crosstown Expressway, and the Christie Clinton Expressway. All 3 of these would have cut through residential old Victorian neighborhoods, splitting the city into many different districts that would become therefore unwalkable and unlivable. This is the Beltline Trail, a mixed-use recreational path that stretches through densely packed communities in Midtown Toronto, and the site of the cancelled Crosstown Expressway, a proposed 6-lane highway that would have stretched from where I was just standing at the Allen Road all the way to the Don Valley Parkway in the east. It would have followed this alignment and basically destroyed the sense of community that connects Midtown Toronto. It would have made it less walkable, and it would have made it more car-oriented. It would have came along this alignment and come out here in a heavily wooded ravine in the Rosedale neighborhood, where it would have continued past the brickworks to meet the Don Valley Parkway at today's Bayview Bloor exit. I'm standing here in the heart of the annex, where after jutting out from a massive tunnel underneath the Casa Loma, the 6-lane Spadina Expressway would have cut through here and jabbed a dagger into the heart of the city of Toronto. I chose to stand at this precise location because I'm standing in front of number 69 Albany Avenue, the former home of Jane Jacobs, urban activist and writer of The Death and Life of Great American Cities, probably the most influential book on city planning of all time. After moving here in 1968, she was very vocal against City Council, the Metro Council, and the Government of Ontario to make sure that these freeways were not built through residential neighborhoods into Toronto at all. And as I can't hear the roar of thousands of car engines and trucks roaring past, I say she was pretty successful. This is the intersection of College and Clinton, the heart of Toronto's Little Italy. A tight-knit community. Had the Christie-Clinton Expressway been built, it would have been uprooted and ripped apart. For this intersection, the one that I'm standing on right now, would have been the site of a major interchange between the Expressway and College Street. Many city planners are only realizing today, in the year 2020, that freeways are not the solution to traffic problems. In fact, I would even argue that they cause more problems than they solve. Had the Christie-Clinton Expressway been built through this intersection right here, no one would have been able to eat at Cafe Diplomatico, Toronto's iconic Italian restaurant, or see a movie at the old Royal Cinema just to my left. Had the Spadina Expressway been built, who knows what would have happened to Casa Loma, Toronto's castle in the heart of the city, or Kensington Market and Chinatown, which line the streets of Spadina today, and the Crosstown Expressway, which had the Mount Pleasant Cemetery in its way, probably slated for destruction. In all honesty, I am so grateful to the city of Toronto for axing those plans. It has made this city incredibly livable and my home.